Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, here to share a little bit of time, encouragement, Friday afternoon, some let loose energies, which was kind of the topic of the thumbnail today. And I am really just kind of flowing today. That's my state of mind. It's just, I'm here for this purpose, to stream, to share some time, encouragement, fellowship, offer forth some faith. And I've already dropped the link for those who may wish to join. Blessings to all of you who are stopping in. And yes, please hit the like on your way through. So today, the topic, intentional growth. Inspired by, love the idea of the day. Friday is the day to set your spirit free and let your dreams take flight. And that got me to thinking how true that is. I've mentioned this before, that, in the common structures of our work life and day to day, there's the Friday energy, which brings us the opportunity to get free a little bit. So in observation of this idea, take notice of the limits. Where are the limits to your freedom? Where are the limits to your dreams? I was thinking about this earlier. If you don't know the limits of your freedom, if you don't know the limits of your dreams, do you have freedom? Do you have dreams? Maybe that's why the limits have not been found, is there's just a lack of awareness in the availability of freedom, right? Like the animal whose cage is open, it's free to leave, but it seems stuck there because it remembers being trapped. So this is something that I realized for myself. These are thoughts I never thought to consider in my past. I find these value today, so that's why I share them, these ideas like this. What would happen if you intentionally noticed where your limits of freedom were, where the limits of your dreams were? If you did notice those limits, then you've got a new goal. You can create a goal to discover the perspective and the experiences beyond those limits. And this is what I realized a while ago. Intentional goals. Play a game with yourself, creating intentional goals, small goals, big goals, all type of goals that you can come up with. Why? For the purposes of growth and development. Grow yourself into whatever you want to become. But the best way to grow is through intentional goals. And that's the topic of today, is intentional growth. Because intentional goals bring more growth, fulfillment, joy into your life. It really does. How do we succeed if we're not going to try? And what are we going to try if we don't have something to shoot for? What is our objective? What is our meaning? And that's actually another kind of side topic I was inspired of recently, is the reminder that life is, to some degree, from a perspective, one could say life is meaningless. There is no purpose to life other than life itself. So if life itself is the purpose, then the meaning is for us to choose. We get to choose what everything means. I mean, that's kind of the divine game, I think. We get to name, as it said in the Bible, that God created everything and then took man and had him name everything. And we've been naming everything and giving everything meaning, symbols and meanings throughout time. This is what each of us do in our lifetime. We discover, we learn, and we start assigning meanings to things. And then we treat things like things and people like things. But brothers and sisters, you are not a thing. we we are not like we're not things, we're not objects. See, if you start thinking people are things, yourself is a thing, well, then it's just a thing to be exchanged, to be bartered, to be used and thrown away. That's not what things, that's not what people are. People are, we are verbs, we are activities. We are the essence of change. We are that which brings the change. We are that which fights the change. Holy cows, man. People are important. We are an important role in the history and the way the universe is progressing, at least here on Earth. People are important. Many people are important. I'd say few people are unimportant. And yet, this hierarchy of who is not important, who is or is not worthy. My mind is drifting to the greater world, what I know of the world, the atrocities that are being funded by the American taxpayers through the choices of the American legislators, the administration of the United States Corporation of America, right, in Washington, D.C. My mind goes to the atrocities that are being funded today, not just funded but supported and protected and being enacted by brothers and sisters. Evil is afoot. There is evil in this world. I know a lot of Christians talk about how, you know, the Antichrist is going to rise and there's going to be battles and hello, McFly, have you seen the news? It's like here and now. Evil is afoot. And if in fact there is a spiritual battle occurring, right, that's being conducted through the mind of mankind, other men and women like you and me, we're all in this battle together at this time of history. So whether we like each other or not, you know, Billy or Sam or Susie or Paula, whoever, whatever names, I'm just making some up. If you don't like them, who cares? Get over it, right? We're here. We're here to grow in this life and in this world. And the main thing is, are you going to serve good or are you going to serve evil? That's your choice every day. Now, a lot of people will make the excuse that they're serving good by telling lies, by doing immoral things. I mean, hell, the military soldiers, they think that they tell themselves they're doing good by volunteering to go kill and be killed. There's objective morality, right? That is righteous and is truthful in the design of what a human being is. This subjective morality, for me, it doesn't really work, where what's good for one is good for one, but not good for another. And I don't mean to speak so vaguely. Unfortunately, no specific examples are coming to mind, but I hope you get the idea, right? There's a lot of duplicitous standards, manipulation of the rules in this world where, well, here's a great example off the course of war, but The way economic wealth places people above the laws, above the rules. You see it often. I mean, some of the criminal activities that get away with by wealthy, I'll generalize, but so it's clear. I mean, you see it's made fun of in television shows and in entertainment. It's just right in front of our eyes, right? The rich white businessman, he gets away with murder. Hell, even our former president, Donald Trump, didn't he say something stupid like that? That he knew he could like really go out and execute someone and still get away with it, still be supported. Brothers and sisters, we live in a world that is it has profited from people being out of their minds. Simple. The world is out of its mind collectively. The the people are out of their minds. Joe Biden is a perfect example, sincerely. And that is allegedly a representation for the rest of the world of the leadership of America at this time. I mean, brothers and sisters, this world we're living in, this realm, this experience, I don't know what it is. Okay? I don't know what the future's going to bring. I don't know what is or is not possible. What I do know is that we are here to do as we want. So do you want to live in this world where corruption is winning, where censorship is that's something to really worry about, and where the politicians and the executives are literally lying? We know, I don't know, who knows what, but lies do not serve. Lies do not serve. Okay. Hey, blessings to all of you dropping by, right? Happy Friday to everyone. Yes, I love New Guru. I love the perspective you bring. Sincerely, thank you. Everyone is worthy of breath. The evidence is clear. Existence itself said so. And this is what I was getting at before. Things are not always as they seem, but we must accept things for as they are. And existence itself says we are all worthy of breath until it says we are not. Corporate collective minds are out of their minds. There are sane minds outside of that. There are. We, you and me, Sterling, Nude Guru, Lizard Tree, Joe Moore, Tarek, Cynthia, all of us, Dominic. Well, not to throw you under the bus or bring you in the spotlight with me, but we are. We are what the world has brought, through this awakening, through the development of consciousness. We are the messengers of today. And brothers and sisters, the world is filled with confusion. The world is filled with confusion. And I honor that, Joe. I refuse to allow their insanity to become my reality. This is where all of us, we are all being tested individually and collectively. Individually, we are all being tested by the truth. This is what I see as God's game. This is the path. It's a glorious gift that God has given us, this development of life in the human form with the ability to develop our minds and our spirits. Man, that is special. Good job, Creator. Praise be. Thank you. Thank you that I get to be and that I get to know. I get to know of my being. I get to know that I live. I get to know what it feels like to live. I know I get to know what it feels like to love. Holy cows. Have you experienced love yet? Like that love that just overtakes you? Can you become that love that overtakes you? I think that's my goal. To become one with that love that just overtakes me. That love that rises from within and it just envelops and it moves me. And I get the tears flowing a lot, but those dry and they wipe away, and I can drink water. God has given us water. And praise be, where I am, there is water. I was seeing statistics. There is still a tragic number of people, men and women like you and me, with children, men and women today who don't have access to clean water. Who don't have access to a lot of things. We are so blessed. We being me, being those like me. I'm going to claim here in the Western world where we have still the technology, the ability to speak freely. Um, so far, the persecution from our governments, it's not too atrocious, but, you know, it's been known a long time. You hire half the working class, they will take out the other half of the working class. Just give them a paycheck, and a he will work himself to death just for a paycheck. Man, human beings are incredible. It's almost tragic though, too. You get to choose who to engage and partner with in life. We are not obligated to be part of any collective, corrupt or not. I do agree. Holy cows, man. Holy cows. God bless you, Tarek. Sincerely, thank you. Um, love your patience and how you are all in a loving good besides all the haters. Tarek, thank you very much. Sincere gratitude for your support, all of your support, everyone. You guys tuning in and sharing. And yes, sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, this world we're living in, this experience of life, brothers and sisters, if in fact there was a question I meant to ask it earlier, and it was something. The greetings, Divine Spark, all of you, all of you. Persecution from government ain't so bad. Yes and no. Agreed. Agree and disagree. In my case, it's not. In the cases of others, it's totally unacceptable. This is unfortunately true and untrue. The government is guilty of genocide. The government is an external manifestation of our collective ego. The ego is the insecurity of us. We project that out into the society, all of our insecurities, and then we hire people from the community to police and enforce and control. And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of really, really crazy when you stop and think about it, the way the world is. I mean, I've heard it explained by others very well. Paul does a great job explaining some of this stuff, and I've heard others too. The election of the government is actually an imposition upon your neighbors. You're choosing someone to oppress your neighbors, your family, other people. In some ways. Okay, there's layers of truth to this. The other part of this is, unfortunately, humanity based upon evidence and historical record, humanity does need some sort of control and regulation, some sort of rules behind the 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 way we interact with each other. There's a healthy way for these things to be applied. And here, the idea truly, we've got a lot of good things in this world through the police departments, through the government systems, through all of the logistics and commerce that we've got. We have a lot of opportunities. Now, it's up to us as people, because the government we have is directly related to what we allow. It reflects what the collective is saying. This is what we want. This is what we're allowing. And in any structure where you're going to have consolidations of power, you're going to have the power driven, the selfish, narcissistic, the manipulative. They are going to seek those positions of power. Okay? It makes sense. So the way to properly deal with these positions of power is through oversight, multiple views, multiple perspectives, not looking at the individual as much as the facts. We focus on the facts. Facts are what reveal what is true. And truth, that's the only thing that matters. So if truth is the only thing that matters, which I don't know how people could disagree with that. If truth is what matters, how stupid are we to allow our governments and corporations to keep secrets? How stupid are we collectively? This is what I mean, man. The entire system is set up for blame and excuses. Then you use manipulation and effective rhetoric to sell propaganda. And the next thing you know, you've got experts telling you you got to wear 3 masks because someone coughed in China. I'm exaggerating. I'm making a mockery out of something that, whatever, you know what I'm saying. There's no government, just an imagination of one with many actors and pretenders, typically in place to act as a scapegoat to keep irresponsible minded people perpetually distracted. Nude Guru, that is accurate. The entire government, it's a structure of rules. It's a concept. It's a mind concept, mental concept. It's a structure of rules, and people are so obedient to rules that are remembered, written by someone else. The entire dystopia that we've got here, and that's what the world is growing into. If we're not, I don't like speaking of future in bleak terms because I know the power of words, but if things don't change the direction that things appear to be going in, it's heading towards a true dystopia. Dystopia of worse tyranny, more division, more fear, more oppression, more control, more division, more propaganda. Oh, and guess what? More profits. You know, I'm sure there'll be profits. So if you're hoping to become a billionaire, hey, praise God, more chaos going to unfold. The last few years created a lot of billionaires from what I heard. Why not? The Treasury's been printing all sorts of money, deflating everything that you and I have been working for. I just listened to myself. I love you guys for tuning in. I hear an old man just rambling on about the corruption in the world, and if you know, you know, though. For those who know, I'm right. I'm right. The world does not have to be this way. That there is a time, we are the time that's going to bring the change. Because what's going to change the world? The truth. Here's something I've been trying to get people to understand, right? Yeah, I've got some crazy ideas. I want to talk to some people that really probably don't want to change. But here's what I know: the truth compels people. When people can resist the truth and deny the truth, but it doesn't change. And the thing is if we need to change directions in the world, which I truly believe we do, then the only thing that prevents us from changing this world is willingness. Okay? So I'm willing to do whatever I can to share the truth in the best ways that I know. And the truth that I'm sharing with you today in the best ways that I know is just a reminder. Okay? You, me, we are here to create a better world. And the better world emerges moment by moment by moment. It's layers of actions and inactions. It's layers of what we do and don't do. That's what creates the world we live in. So in each moment, pay attention to what is within you. Because what is within you, number one, it's important to you. The world doesn't really care if you pay attention to yourself or not. It cares that you pay attention to your bills and the schedules, and you make sure your appearance looks okay for others. Those are the things the world cares about. But it doesn't really care if you look at you. So I'm telling you, suggesting, I'm reminding you, encouraging you to explore the value of what you find within yourself. Look within you. For what? What are you looking within you for? Look within you for the good, first of all, right? The peace, the knowing, the abundance. What do you enjoy about you? Find that. Get a good grasp on that. What do you enjoy about you? About being you? And then what do you enjoy being and doing that you see others enjoy? And then how can you grow in that? And then besides what is the good, be honest, right? You got to see both sides equally, but what is the bad, right? Where are your weak points in being you? Right? In the parts that are being you, when you're being you, what are the parts that are not comfortable, not pleasant, where others really don't appreciate it either? Look at those are weaknesses, right? There's nothing wrong with a weakness. It's just an opportunity to build. So if you can identify your strengths and your weaknesses within yourself, your light, your dark, your triggers, and your glimmers, right? The other day I discovered that the trigger is your emotional upsettedness, right? The one that makes you anxious or reactive. But then the other part is notice your glimmers. What are the things in life that just bring a smile to you? And then watch out for those things that bring a smile to you. Whether it's the formations of the clouds, whether it's the evening sunset, the morning dew, whatever. Find as many things that bring you a smile, a little glimmer within you, and then grow in those. Because each day, brothers and sisters, we are here. We're here on earth, whether we like it or not. Okay, let's face it, that is the truth. Wherever you are, however you are, whoever you are, that's what is for you for now. So whether you like it or not matters to you. So I spent a lot of time not liking me. I didn't hate me. I didn't like me. I didn't think I was very much fun. And I wasn't much fun because I was fucking complaining all the time. At least that's the way it feels now that I'm in my mind, in my memories. I remember being very angry, very just tough to find the good. I remember being like that. And brothers and sisters, what I've been learning is this selfishness of today that the world has normalized and been profiting from. This selfishness is a disease. There's many explanations. And for anyone interested, I've discovered a lot of different resources, a lot of different people who explain different things in different ways, whether it comes to the trust or the common law or to the spiritual or to the health or to the mental. We live at a time right now. Knowledge is abundant. Stop paying taxes and watch the imaginary government show up at your door. There's obedient employees who obey the rules. They'll be releasing bits and drones soon enough. It'll be like Minority Report. Be breathing through straws in our bathtubs. This is what I mean. The predictions can be dark, can be gloomy. So I believe all of those things can be true, but also what can be true is peace and respect. And I believe we can become this generation. I believe this generation, those alive right now, varying ages. We have, man, in the future, we've got a lot of trauma that's going to need to be overcome. The best way for us to have a more healthy, more abundant, safe future all around the world is for each of us to come to terms with today. Stop creating damages. Please, if you can do that, if you can interrupt your patterns of creating damages, spreading chaos, if you can just show restraint, 2 out of 10 times instead of 0 out of 10 times, if you can show restraint 2 times out of 10, that's a step, that's a growth. It's in the right direction. We don't need to engage in every negative thought, every disagreement, every crossed path, whether it's someone cutting you off in traffic or misunderstandings. We don't have to be so quick to engage, to react, to go to war against who? Against someone else struggling to survive in this world, this crazy world where corruption is just enabled and it's just part of life, Jack. You just got to deal with it. Government's corrupted. Okay, why? Why? It doesn't have to be. Boycott all corruption or you become the corruption. That is hard to do. It is hard to be aware of, you know what? Who cares? Who cares if it's hard or not? You're right, Nude Guru. You're absolutely right. Where I was going is it can be challenging to be very mindful and attentive with all of your choices, all of your purchases, but that's what we're here to do. And along those lines, we got our first guest. Welcome,
Hi,
Mr.
Jack.
Blessings to you.
Blessings to you. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Were you referring to Elon Musk yesterday or the day before about putting rockets into the sky? And
Yeah, him and the Bezos guy. Those two were the ones I was talking about. They were in my mind. Yes.
well, you're not going to believe this,
What?
but you know how I have a few connections back in Spokane, Washington,
Mhm.
and my son is a rocket scientist. And he just finished a contract with Elon Musk. And do you know how much money that Elon Musk has given to humanitarian issues and charity?
I don't.
Almost $6 billion. So you know me. When things hit me personally, I get a little like, but I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to, I mean, space exploration is something that is important because you know how strongly you feel about your goals and your passion.
Yep.
Well, that's how my son was when he was 4 and 5 about
Awesome.
rocket ships and exploring um space and wondering if there was living beings someplace else, and realizing what we've realized is, there will be Star Wars someday. It's just, it's a fact. So I think that Elon Musk is, he's he's very eccentric, but he does give back to us. He also gives to STEAM programs as well. Margo's asleep at the wheel.
If
Okay,
you think
here's,
Elon is a respectable person,
well, you
that
know,
was,
we can all pass judgment, right?
yeah, yeah.
And judgment, we need judgment to keep us safe. It's a part of us. However, you have to judge a cliff when you come up to it, or you're going to fall off of it. There's a reason why God gave us the ability to judge.
Discernment, certainly.
Thank
Yes.
you.
And judgment. I don't
And
disagree.
if you want to say you don't like Elon and you don't know him, and you're just making your opinion off of what you've heard, that's fine. But he's given $6 billion to humanitarian purposes.
Please
And
realize, oh,
I'm not
please
going to
continue.
jet.
Sorry.
And you know, you come up on panel and you're about love, but then you're knocking someone that's given $6 billion and is doing space exploration. What if Elon heard your goals and wanted to help you, but then he heard that you were talking shit about him?
I actually think that you might be making a bigger deal out of what I said than what it is, but I want to swing back to what I heard was important. Your son, that sounds pretty fucking amazing. He's a rocket scientist.
Yes, he is.
Dude, that is really cool. And if he was, and I trust what you're saying, if he's part of some of Elon's projects, I bet that is pretty damn exciting and very cool. Now, and again, I don't want to be disrespectful of anyone. I admire Elon. He's proven successful in many ways, but I see the act. I see through the charade of this. It's this philanthropy. It's a deception. As I understand, many of the other labor practices and some of the other business practices of his, well, it's under the capitalist mindset where profit, the means, what is it? The means justify the end, or the ends justifies the means, where all that matters is profits. And
But how do you know? How do you know that just profits matter to him?
based on based on what I've seen and heard from him. And Margo, unfortunately, what many of these people, they're like you and I. They're very like you and I. They're susceptible to becoming confused and misled. They're not perfect.
I'm not
But
saying they are. However, I'm sorry I cut you off. Did you want to finish your sentence and then I can go?
please go ahead. I was going to kind of disparage, so please go ahead, Margo. Not you, but the wealthy.
When I was a teenager, I knew what I wanted to do professionally. And I have done that. Will it make me a lot of money? No, that's fine. Uh, I mean, I've got my own, side businesses, which I make a lot more than teaching. And if one of my side businesses took off and I made $1 billion, does that make me a bad person?
Depending on how you made the money. I
Okay.
mean, that would be the determination.
Okay. And that's a perfect answer.
Thank you.
That's a perfect
That
answer.
is a perfect answer, Jack. Hi, Margo. Hi,
Hi,
Jack.
Derek.
Yes. Welcome, Goblin. Welcome, Tarek.
Hi, Goblin. I've been thinking about you. I love you and I care about you. And thank you for your vulnerability.
Thank you. Good to see you. I just wanted to throw some context on this. Regarding the charade Jack was speaking about.
Okay.
So if you look at this from a scriptural, right? If you were trying to go against the creator of creation, you would require others, right? And want to go up into the firmament and things of that matter. That's what space reminds me of. But also look into the rods of God. Star Wars. Or no, maybe that was Star Trek. It's one of the two, though.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, would you agree that we could probably put any spin on this?
Exactly.
And I recognize that as well. And Jack made an excellent point. I guess Jack knows me well, I would say. And when something hits me personally, I come out ready to defend it. Bottom line.
Yep. I
Um,
am.
and but I think ultimately, right now I am in the process of putting together an event for about 500 people. And the reason why I'm doing it, it's my high school class reunion. The reason why I'm doing it is because there's been a couple people that have done reunions in the past that get very political, and they've made enemies and they've made best friends. And if they do the reunions, not everyone's going to feel comfortable. So the reunion committee and I'm not trying to talk about myself. Anyway, I don't talk about politics. So they said, Margo, will you do it? And I gave them a price of what I do it for. So Jack, if you ever want Elon Musk on your side, don't be throwing shade on him, dude, because who knows? I might come across him and have him watch your show.
Well, Margo, to be honest, he is one of the people I hope to speak with in the future. I hope to speak with many of these people who have achieved success and wealth and position.
then please be careful when you're up for your own benefit. When you come up and do your monologue, you might want to think about that.
Well, thank you. I
Margo,
appreciate the caution, but
Margo, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being respectful. It seems like you are a big fan of Elon Musk, right?
No,
Oh, I thought you said you just don't speak better about him.
I
it
have
came from me.
I have a personal connection to him, and I know that he has given billions for humanitarian purposes. And my son just finished a project with him, and I wouldn't say I'm a fan of him. I'm impressed by some of the things that I've watched him and seen him do.
Okay,
But I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I don't know him well enough to be a fan.
I see what you're saying. Here's my point. He is very smart and brilliant. But you do know that he is also slaving people to dig mountains in different countries, with hands, with a lot of stuff that's bad just to get the stuff for the lithium that he's doing for the batteries. So even though he looks good in terms of,
Do you have the research to back that up, Tarek?
yeah,
The
I have it
research
on
is
video.
out there, and it's worse on the climate than the old fossil fuels. The research is out there.
Yeah,
Where
it's been out there.
Well, if you're going to throw something out there, you got to have the research to back it up.
No, it's on YouTube. I can get it for you. There's many videos showing.
YouTube is not research based data.
Oh, so you want like really research in terms of like really like, okay, I see what I see what you're saying.
I mean, I'm not saying that you're incorrect, but I'm not saying you're correct either.
She wants you to support your claim, is what she's saying.
I got you. No, I got you. I misunderstood what you said. I appreciate you letting me know. Thank you.
Thanks,
I
Mark.
yield.
Um,
Sorry, Jack. I'm eating ice cream. I don't usually eat ice cream, but I'm eating ice cream.
good for you.
I'll tell you who I am a fan of is Paul Enslaved. I'm an educator. I was a counselor before I was an educator. I'm a business owner. I'm telling you right now, and he is. There's been times when he's not super nice to me, but at the end of the day, I can tell why, and I'm fine with that, Jack. And I think that it would benefit you. Listen to me. I'm like your big sister today. I'm giving you all this advice. You're welcome, man. I am a fan of Paul's, and I believe that Paul has a big heart, and he means well.
I don't disagree. I've been a fan of his for a while as well, but there's patterns. Patterns are what we get to work with. We get to work with what is real. And despite my opinions, what is real is that communication has not been real productive or effective yet.
For either one of you, maybe.
Could be. Well, I know when it comes to Paul and I, we can certainly improve. That in the past, we've actually, I think he and I have been a deterrent for each other. While it's been content on occasion and it's given, reasons to talk.
Well, and that's where I'm going to disagree with you, because I think Paul has a lot of knowledge and resources that you can use. I don't think you're there yet. I don't think you're at his level. I think that you can learn from what he's done.
Well, okay, hey Margo, that's fine. And what you're saying is where Paul thinks as well.
Oh no,
but what I know,
Jack, I've watched you now for how many years?
Well,
on a local level, online.
through a veil of skepticism and judgment. You have watched me for a while.
That's your opinion.
Well, it's based on the facts you've shown. Sorry to interrupt, but yes, you've been watching through a veil of skepticism and doubt and ridicule.
That's your opinion.
Okay.
I'm
Jack,
also a professional, and I am very objective about certain things.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You can learn. You are better off on the side of being Paul's friend than any other side.
My goal and my actual intention is to be a friend with all. I'm not the one who picks disagreements with me or treats me as an enemy. That's others. You and Paul have both played that role in different ways, and so it makes sense. I actually appreciate that. I appreciate that you're here, Margo, talking to me like a big sister.
And when I'm a smart ass, I know it, and I like to poke the bear just like you do. I've watched you poke the bear before. I want you to succeed. Do I think you're on that road right now? Absolutely not. That's not new news to you. And I'll continue to tell you that.
Margo,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Do you think Paul is on that path or not?
I don't know. I haven't. I'm not sure about that.
Well, you said you're very. I agree with you. He's very bright.
Yes.
He's got great discernment.
Yes.
He can speak very well.
Yes.
But do you think he's on the path to success from what you've seen from his broadcast and what he has done so far and up to now? That's what I'm asking you, just from your discernment.
I believe that Paul has enough experience and knowledge that if he wasn't on the correct path that was going in a positive way, he would pivot. And I don't think that Jack, and maybe whatever happens with Jack over the next month will give him more experience on when and how to pivot and which way to pivot. I think Paul's life experiences have already given him those skills, and
Okay.
I don't think Jack's have.
But what I'm saying, again, you kind of deflected a little bit. What I'm saying is, do you think he's on the right path where he's actually successful with all the knowledge that he has, with all the stuff that he has that's great about him? Because I don't, and I'll tell you why. I just want to hear your answer.
Well, I don't know enough of exactly what he's doing, but I believe I know him well, and we've had enough conversations to know that if he didn't have enough momentum going in a positive way and the way that he wanted to go, he would make the adjustments. He talks about making adjustments on a very regular basis. He has big ideas and ideas against big organizations. He's not afraid to go up against them. But I think if he gets to a point where he knows he wouldn't be successful, he would pivot. He's not afraid to make adjustments to his goals. So yes, I do believe that Paul is going in a positive, successful way.
Jack, let me talk to you for a second. So, the problem that is very, very common in humanity is you might be seeking some type of resource that an individual has, right? Or some type of connection for whatever, right? And it's like, well, I will introduce you to, my friend, but you're going to have to do things my way. And so what happens is the resources wind up being bound. And I think that's where the problem lies within the conversation.
With me? With me?
No, not you. With individuals in general.
Oh.
A lot of people will deny this fact, though.
Because every connection that I had back in Spokane, I didn't ask Jack to do anything before I told him how to get in touch with them.
Well, 1 in a million is still one, but it's still part of a million. You see what I'm saying? So maybe you don't do that, but that doesn't change the fact that generally this is how individuals work.
People want to know what they're going to get
What
out
I'm
of it.
saying is, if Paul is wrong about something, right?
Yeah.
But he thinks that he's correct, and Jack is correct about something, but Paul thinks that Jack is incorrect. Paul is not going to, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to provide him with resources unless he does it the way that he wants it done. And maybe the way that he wants it done is not the way that Jack likes to operate.
And I think people have the option to do that when they're, if you choose to be in a relationship with someone, you can have boundaries and expectations. Paul has the right to do that. I don't disrespect him because of that, because Jack also has the ability to say yay or nay. Oh, you want me to do A and B, and then you'll give me C. I mean, that's social interaction.
It's manipulation.
Well, manipulation is
And
when
you're right. You're right.
manipulation is when
I
you
can
back
accept
someone
it,
into a wall and they're forced to do something.
which is basically what is being said. I've got these resources, I've got these help available, but it's only conditional. Conditional that you do my way. So it's extortion. It's just the way of the greater society. And individuals play this stupid game
How
as
is that
well.
extortion? How is that extortion? What's the extortion?
Okay. You don't see it?
It's limited. Which if it's limited, that means that any type of trying to help anyone with any type of resources, if you limit it, right there, you've already it's already been manipulated. It's been breached, basically. Because if go ahead.
Well, and so Jack can walk away and with nothing more, nothing less.
Right. And so that's exactly it. So again, Margo, we're back to great. There's potential over there. There's a lot available, but nothing is available for me in the way that I am. So my option is walk away. And that's kind of what I've been doing, but I keep wondering, trying to find my way. And Margo, you have been an interesting part of my experience, and I do care about you. I have no ill will towards you whatsoever, genuinely. But telling me how to get a hold, telling me what to Google and where to go jump through hoops isn't really sharing connections, Margo.
Well,
I don't
hold
want
on
you
a
to
second.
oversell your value, okay?
I don't care. I don't care what people think about my value.
I know.
However, the way that I got to know most of those people, with excluding the ones that I'm related to, is through getting out of my home, going to volunteer, introducing myself to people at those volunteer opportunities, giving them my number and saying, the next time you need any volunteers, please call me. It was my feet on the ground, chopping wood and collecting water. And that's what I think that you would benefit from. I think this is a great way for you to socialize and get to know people out there in the world and maybe make some connections. But I think if you want to obtain what you're trying to obtain, it's going to be doing like what Rick Clark did, that guy in Spokane. That's just my opinion. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, I've been pursuing many steps that many others have taken. I've been pursuing lots of ideas. Every single idea simply requires cooperation. Someone eventually is going to give me a chance, and someone gave Rick a chance. Someone gives everyone eventually the people who succeed, they're given a chance. And then once they're given a chance, they're given support. And I know I've got a lot of people who have been sharing support, offering support. There's a lot of people who are really rooting for my success. I know this. How to create the opportunities, because Margo, yeah, I'd love to talk to someone like Elon Musk, someone who actually has the influence and power that could really maybe make some substantial changes in this world. See, I've lived a different life.
But I think the first thing that they're going to ask you is, what are you bringing to the table? What successes do you have to date?
Okay, but see, Margo, this again. That's what you want to do. That's what Paul wants to do. That's what all sorts of people want to do. Immediately judge for the results. And I understand. It's the ways of the world. Now, what I also said, Margo, is that eventually someone, and it won't be Elon necessarily, it won't be someone at the top, someone is going to give me a chance. And they're going to be willing to join my efforts, and we're going to build Live Without Fear into something substantial. And then when that happens, then other people like Elon and others, maybe then they'll come knocking. I don't know. But it starts with those who are in my experience, right? We all get the opportunity to help each other, ignore each other, or oppose each other. I want to help everyone, to be honest. Hey, if I may, not to interrupt, but Wildheart, you've been patient.
Yeah, no, just been listening.
All right. If you got anything, feel free, man.
Yeah, obviously I'm new, so I'm not sure like what you're talking about and who you're talking about. So yeah, just carry on. I'll chip in if
All right.
or anything. Interesting. So. Well, thanks for letting me on. It's good to see.
Well, right now it's kind of more discussion on the personal dynamics, but really the topic of today is intentional growth, growing in our freedom, growing in our dreams, expanding our spirit, expanding our freedom, and then maybe even bringing others in with us. How many others can you include in your freedom, in your dreams?
Yeah,
I think that's what I'm trying to do, at least. I know everyone's got their own pull, their own desire as far as what they really want to see, but this is my goal. I want to build horizontally. I want to build like community and connection and relationships and start building outwards as far as I can. And I'd love to start building up, reaching greater levels of attention and influence. Today, I was inspired by a conversation offline regarding some things I might do different from here. And for those who may be interested, those who are, not quite sure of what's going on here, which is probably a few of you, I'm sure. But if you're interested beyond the chaos, what I was talking to someone about today is maybe some ways to refine it. Refine the community and the audience that we're interacting with, and maybe get some more personal attention. The idea to help people individually overcome whatever struggles, whatever hurdles they might be facing. I think we can all use some help, and I think this is a great opportunity.
I agree.
Yeah, can you just say that? Yeah, that sounds like a very kind of honourable goal. Yeah.
Thank you.
And Jack, just remember, I do. That's what I do for a living. I do frame new houses, new construction. and I have at least 20 or 30 people under me. So if ever to build a community or construct any housing or that, I'm down for it. Just to let you know.
Amen.
Can I throw in my 2 cents and then I'm going to get out of here?
Please do, Margo. Please.
I come online on YouTube to be entertained and to learn and say hello to people now that I consider friends. As far as like online therapy, I wouldn't be interested in that. But I have seen people in your chat that do come for your you know, your fluff, for a lack of a better word. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're saying. Insight, fluff, whatever. I got you.
I'm more of a black and white person, so I go elsewhere for my fluff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you for the time. Goblin, it's great to see you in a better place. Love you, friend. Take care of yourself, and I will see you guys later.
Love you too. Have a good day.
Bye.
Nice to meet you.
Blessings, Margo. I'm grateful to learn. I'm glad to hear, even you're finding community and fellowship. I encourage that. I think that's healthy for you. I think it's healthy for us. However, I do trust too, Margo's intentions have been, I think they're authentic. I think she's authentically showing care.
I believe that
I
as
think
well. That's my
I think so
opinion.
too, Jack. Yeah, I think so too. But um she does play games though. I would say that because like she thinks highly of Paul, which is good. I mean, Paul, like I said, is very bright and he's good at what he does.
Yep.
But in the same time, he's restreaming you right now, and everybody in his chat is bashing me and bashing a lot of people. So this is where I asked Margo, like, how do you feel about that? But nobody wants to like really get down to that question. But it's okay.
Well, cognitive dissonance, denial. Denial is a son of a bitch. And this
Yeah.
is what I've been trying to get people to see. It doesn't matter what they say, or I mean, God, see, now the words aren't right. What matters is what people do. That is the most
Yes.
important thing, is what people are doing.
Another
Yes.
thing though is, Tarek, what it comes down to is you feed the ones that you choose to feed, and then you just ignore the ones that you don't.
I agree with you, Goblin. I think sometimes you're really on point on a lot of things. But what I'm trying to say with Paul is if he's this guru guy, the way and all that, why is he promoting this stuff where he knows when he restreams Jack that his chat, his call is going to start bashing everybody else? We can all ignore it. I get that. But doesn't that reflect on his reputation and what he stands for?
Yeah, it does. But it all comes down to, what are people going to see? And at this point, I don't know if people choose or if God shows. Because I know people don't necessarily choose to be confused, but I think within our minds, God will allow things to be seen, and then the corrupted thoughts will come into our mind. The judgment, the insults, the fear, the distorted definitions, distorted labels come into our mind, and that's where our confusion happens. Sorry to start saying that.
No, you're right, Jack. But here's another thing that Z said yesterday, and I think you said it probably too. Like Paul restreams you and Z, and he has his own issues with Safe Flow, right? And me a little bit. But why is it that you don't restream him? Z doesn't restream him. He doesn't really bring his name up unless they really bash him and he has to bring it up. And the same thing with you. Why is it Paul is always the one that's restreaming people and letting his
Tarek,
call
Tarek, please, let's be real about this, man.
about
Who
optics?
really finds entertainment by being a host broadcaster and restreaming someone else? That is lack of content.
It could also just be laziness. It's a lot easier to restream someone else's broadcast than do your own. You know what I mean? It could be as simple as that. I don't know.
No, I also think he's restreaming because he doesn't want Jack or anybody, Z or anybody else to get more views. So he rather has his people to stay at his broadcast so they can see everything from there. This way he can control everything. That's what I think he is.
So you believe it's a stronghold?
Yeah, of course I do. Just my opinion. I could be wrong. I'm not perfect, but that's what I feel.
I'm sure there's a number of variables that were considered. Part of the reason, I'm sure he's got conscious reasons, and there may be subconscious reasons as well. I used to get frustrated and I used to get upset by that. And these days, you know, he's actually, I think he may, part of what is doing that is he probably wants to hear. He doesn't want to admit it, but I think he's a fan of mine, and this way he's hearing it. At least he's not over talking it as often as he used to. And so by God's grace, maybe people will find encouragement or inspiration through the restream.
Yes, I hope so as well.
That's a hope, right?
Yeah, no,
Really,
I always wish the best. I mean, even if he's restreaming you, it does put you out there, but he's trying to put you out there for the wrong reasons, but it does also promote you and promote Z and all that. So hey, it is what it is. He can do whatever he wants with this broadcast.
I wish it was a little easier to communicate with him. I really do.
Jack, that's
Me
not
too.
new either, though. Jack, we're already in a two-party system, right?
What do you mean? What?
I find inspiration from both of y'all, man.
Yeah.
I said it's not new. We're already in a two-party system.
Right. There is something interesting and dynamic. I'm serious. I am a big fan of Paul as well. Okay, and not to keep that being the topic, but I'm actually a fan of Paul. I'm a fan of Z. I'm even a fan of Ian and several others on these streams. And I think if we could get past our damn arrogance and our damn opinions for a week, for a month, holy shit, we could collaborate. We could co-create some incredible things. We could intentionally work together, build upon the connections we might have. I don't know. Who knows?
But Jack, I have a question for you and Goblin because you both, have your own broadcast and you do have great discernment. And I don't know the other person there. I'm sure he probably does too. My question to you is: Paul has great discernment and he's bright. So when he makes that move to restream you, and I'm looking at it right now, like right at it, like 30 or 40 people from the chat, and like they're really just like bashing, and he knows that. So my question is, Paul, what is your motive here when you do that people are gonna bash Jack, but you get on there and say you love Jack, and I'm sure you do, and we love you as well. But why can't you promote love when your people in the chat are gonna bash me, Jack, and everybody else? I don't get that either.
Well, that's part of. I get what you're saying. It comes with. It comes with this stuff. Admittedly, with the chat stuff, though, that's why when I do find myself onto Paul's stream, I don't do the restream because I know that people will chat in my stream, and since he can't censor or block it, it creates a disruption. So I stopped doing that for a while.
Good for you. Good for you, Jack. You don't need that negative energy.
Well, I am trying to find a way. I want to grow. I want to succeed. Now, I'd love to help raise others with me. I'd love to grow with a group, but I'm prepared to grow without Paul, without Z, with anyone else. But I think it's more fun to work together, honestly.
Yes, I do. I do agree with you, Jack. But I still have my own opinion on just Paul and his cult, and because he knows what they're doing. Um, yesterday, I don't know if you've seen it, like when O'Shea came on there and was trying to claim that I have money because I had a PayPal fraud or whatever for 3.5 million. When I told him that day that even if you ask Monograph, when he doxed me that day, he told me that day that I'm just telling you that I can make it up and make your name and everything. It's on record. So when O'Shea came on that on your broadcast, I guarantee you, just my opinion, that he was, somebody told him to come on there and say that stuff. And the same thing is happening on the chat right now. Like Bex is calling me torso, gay, and you got pay up the $150. Just a lot of like bad stuff. Like, Paul, why do you go this way when you know exactly what's gonna happen when you do that? That's all I'm saying.
All right. I'd like to point something out for you, okay? Something I learned for myself as well. We feel better. We feel better when we stop focusing on the things we don't like. And Paul is he's a very gifted man who there are lessons to learn from him, okay? I mean, beyond just the words, I think the energy and just the way we are, Paul and I similarly, we confuse people. But the opportunity, Tark, sincerely, I know you can see the good and I know you can see the bad. Now then comes the question of what do you do with what you see, right? And what I found is complaining about it gets old.
I got you. It does. I agree with you, Jack. It does get old. It does. It just also like I totally agree. I got a lot of advice from Paul and a lot of knowledge that I gained from just watching his broadcast. Because again, I don't think he means bad. I don't think he doesn't have love for others or he doesn't wish well on others. Yeah.
Here we go.
Tarek, are you going to make good on your bet that you welched on because you're a dishonorable, bad faith cretin who can't keep their word because you're a coward and your emotions run your life? Mostly fear?
Wait.
It's okay. Let him
He
talk.
said he wouldn't talk to me about me for a whole day. He didn't get 1 hour in before breaking bad again and making himself like a clown.
Okay. But what did I say the same day after OTW?
So you lost the bet. Are you going to make good on it or what?
No, hold on one second. I always make good on my bets, but hold on. What I said to you after you told me OTW was just testing you, I said I wasn't going to say your name. I was going to say you said that. So that bet was off since that you said it that way because it looks to me like it was more of a trickery. So now we're not doing that. That's why.
No idea what the fuck that meant. It was just some kind of double talk to escape the liability of your choices. What else is new?
Well, it sounds like if there was confusion on the bet, then
it was so confusing for a tard like him to figure out, like most things in life. Don't talk about Paul for the rest of the day. Okay, I'm not going to talk about nobody. An hour later, he's whining and crying about me again because he can't control himself. There's his problem, not me. Most people's
Paul,
problem in life is they can't control themselves. It's not everyone else who brings the nonsense out of them constantly.
Okay. So, Paul, can I ask you a question? Why do you restrain
You
Jack
just
when you know
did.
that?
You just
Hold on
asked
one
me a
second.
question. You
No,
mean
no, I'm
two
gonna ask you
questions?
another. Can I ask you another question, sir?
Sure.
Why do you restrain Jack when you know your whole
Because I want
chat?
to. Why do you
No, I'm
need
not saying
clarity on why I do what the fuck I choose to do in life? You want to ask me
I'm
why I do
about.
everything else in my life too?
No. I'm asking you for a reason, Paul. Just calm down. We're all relaxed. You
What
just take a
makes you
breath.
think that I'm uncalm?
Okay, just let me. Okay, let's just speak. So you go, I go, right? So go ahead. You go and I go. We're gonna do that so I can talk.
Yeah, I'm a very calm, peaceful person. You're not. And your insanity and intransigence is frustrating when I subject myself to it.
Well,
Okay.
I don't
I'm
owe
very.
you an answer for anything I do in life, just like Jack doesn't owe me any answers or you any answers for why the fuck he does what he does.
okay,
So
but
why
is
are you questioning me?
asking shouldn't cause so much controversy or so much.
He's not asking to actually know. He's asking to try to get a gotcha point across, and it's going to go nowhere.
I'm kind of curious as well. I mean, I'm not sure exactly where he's going. What I understood though is, why do you want to restream when the chatters over there are just insulting and totally negative?
Again, you focused on all the negatives, so let's find the highest good in everything till we don't and want to fixate on the negative, right? More hypocrisy. So you're getting promoted over there to an audience. What you do with that is on you. What you choose to do with it regularly is shit on the person who's treating you. How does it not make you stupid?
Hey, Paul, can you chill, man? Okay, because I'll pull your side and agree.
Do you realize most people who do this want to be restreamed?
I don't get to say anything. I mean,
just accept you're retarded and constantly fall short of the obvious.
No, Paul, look. Your arrogance, brother, your ego, one of these days, you're going to fucking pull it into check. I'd love to be there to help you. I'm trying to be kind and generous, right? Patient with you, Paul. So I spoke and I recognize, yes, I'm being shared. I used to be real upset by it. But it doesn't change the facts. Why? You're not doing it in a way to promote me, Paul.
Thank you, Jack. I agree.
Jack. Let's make presumptions that are from the negative perspective when we say we always see the highest good. Why does it matter what the reason is I'm doing it? Well, you have an open platform and audience in public. That's a benefit if you let it be.
Paul, how about this? Rather than get all worked up, how about just answer the question? Why do you want to do this and show me in a way that is not favorable?
Again, favorable or not favorable is within your control.
Do you think it is, Paul?
Favorable and unfavorable is potentially within your control. If you can't control yourself and you make the whole broadcast about me and your feelers, that's why I do what I do, to expose you for what.
Here, Paul, what you're missing.
Oh, he said expose you.
Right. I give a neutral, open platform for folks to show who and what they are, positive or negative.
Paul, I'm asking you to explain. Tarek was asking. I'm following up because you don't seem to accept anything he says. So I'm trying to understand your intentions, because I don't want to assume your intention is to present me unfavorably, but that certainly is the appearance.
Right. So by me restreaming you objectively and doing 2 hours of no commentary, I'm presenting you in an unfavorable light? Or are you just a bitch who presumes the negative?
Paul,
are you just an unthankful, ungrateful, negative bitch who presumes the negative?
Hey, Paul,
what's up, Wilder?
Really describing you sincerely.
No, because I've streamed you for many hours and I haven't commented.
Great, Paul.
So you're upset that the chat thinks you're.
Do what you want, Paul. Okay? You were asked to explain. You don't want to explain, you want to argue. That's childish. It's juvenile. It's not healthy. It's not productive. It's not helpful. Paul. Welcome, Brian. You were patient.
So,
Paul, Jack, what the fuck, man?
There we go. But Jack, can I say something real quick? Because Paul just lied right now. He said he doesn't comment. I'll show you at least 10 videos that he comments when he restreams sometimes and says stuff about you and even me and Z. So he's lying. That's why sometimes that stuff gets to me because he lies. He said today, not even
Shut
yesterday. He's
the
talking about
fuck
Z.
up, Tarek.
Yes,
Jack,
Brian
you're an
O'Shea,
idiot.
stop with your bullshit. You already know where this is going. Paul told you to come here. We get it. You're gonna bash Jack. You're gonna bash me. We get it. What is this going? What is this benefiting you? I have no clue.
It's not.
No, I don't know, Jack. Like Paul was saying, people come up here and say, Jack, you know what? We love you, but you're a fucking retard, dude.
Okay, well,
I mean,
Brian.
what,
Hey, Brian. This is where you and others get to learn some self-control, because you're following up with "you're a retard" is totally inappropriate. It's revealing your retardation within you. It's coming out of your mouth. Okay, Brian? So you need to really, really just like detach and step back for a moment and recognize who you are and where you are right now.
fuck you. You look like shit. You look psychotic.
Yeah, you don't have
And he's
Paul
pissed
in
mouth.
here,
He's
and
pissed mouth talking shit. But you got other people. Wild
I
I've been trying to talk to you, man.
like
So
Brian. I like Paul. Their attitudes and this insulting behavior.
it's
Well,
ghetto.
say
Yeah,
something.
ghetto, Jack. It's ghetto. That's my opinion. And Goblin, can I tell you something? Do you see why I point this out to you? Like Paul came here, right? No problem. Jack was very calm and relaxed. I was
Yes,
calm and
I
relaxed.
already know how this goes, though. We've been doing this shit for a
I know, but
while.
so what's the
What,
point if keep
going on
doing
2
it?
years or some shit? This is not new.
I know, but what's the point if are we gonna do this forever and lie and say, okay, I'm promoting you, Jack, but my chat is talking shit about you and I'm commenting and talking shit about you and others and
Because
me.
the hosts play off each other just like the chats play off each other.
All right, no problem.
Unfortunately.
Hey, and you know what? Here's something I need to recognize, Tarek. I need you to really start checking yourself, because you did just pull me into this, pulled me into picking sides against Paul, because he has been, while it's not as he presents it, right? It's not all just great and doing things to make my numbers grow. We know that's not the truth. He also hasn't been as insulting and disrespectful as he's been in the past. So today, Tarek,
Okay.
I engaged with something I probably shouldn't have, and I let you bait me into it. Not
And
blaming.
Jack, I promise you from the bottom of my heart, I don't try to like play this game where I bait people. It
I
was
know.
just that was not my intention. So I apologize if I got you in this. The reason why I say this stuff, because I'm such a good person, I have a good heart, it bothers me that somebody is doing that to you. That's what it bothers me. That's
Tarek,
all.
I appreciate that, but here's the lesson for you, for me, for all of us. We've got to get over our bothered, right?
Yeah.
And I'm learning, where is this line? There is a line between the boundaries and self-respect, and then there's another line of rising yourself above it and not letting what others do affect you in the slightest. I think that's what Paul is telling himself he's doing. And I think that's what he's encouraging me to do, is just take it, whatever he does, whatever anyone does, and don't let it move me.
Okay.
That's partially true.
I agree. Partially true. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
sorry.
Jack, I really am starting to think humans are AI. I'm starting to really believe this.
Well, the creator, this experience we're sharing, if it's real, or a simulated experience of life, whatever it is, it's not as it seems. what is as what actually what I've been learning, the best way to live life sincerely is with intention, it's with purpose, and it's with compassion. Those things, right? And I set my intention and my purpose, I set those things to become more curious, to stay curious so that my mind stayed open, and then to stay grateful. Because, and here I am bragging a little bit. I am damn proud of my practice of gratitude that I've been growing, because I don't even have to really stop and think about it much anymore. It's just I'm constantly finding things, and my prayer throughout the day is thank you, God. Thank you, God, Lord of light. Thank you for allowing me to be, for being here with me to guide me. Go ahead, Wildheart.
Yeah, can just say that. Sorry. Obviously, from an outsider's point of view, I mean, the guy did come on and say his goal was to exposure. So when he says he's trying to promote you, and then he comes on and says, actually, I don't think that's a nice thing. And the way they were talking to you as well, I think you might have a bit too much compassion and a bit too much patience. Yeah.
You know what? Respect, and you're a stranger, kind of somewhat outside perspective, uninvolved. I appreciate that. That's what I think. That's what Tarek is telling me too, from deep inside. Is don't let it get to me. But I don't know this life we are living. Sincerely, what I know for myself, what I've been practicing, it feels right. Okay, it feels right to be at peace, to be whole, to be complete, to be okay with where you are and who you are right now. Because every day that we get to be is another day the Creator is letting us discover who we are. And I look at each day, each moment. Again, this is not me. It's this is the vessel I am, right? And that's how I look at this. I care for my vessel, which is my body. I care for this body as though it is the temple. This is where I get to know God in this life, is through this body, through me. So I care for my temple. I spend time each day in gratitude and stretch. I stretch. I spend time every day, and you'll see me doing it here. Is what I'm doing is manipulating my spine, getting some motion and fluidity into all the vertebrae, and allowing yourself to move, because movement is what we are. We are verbs. I started this out early in the stream. The world in the materialistic aspect, where selfishness is rewarded and everyone's focused on the material form, we get confused. We get confused on what is real and what is real important. What is real and important is our spiritual life, the spirit of who we are, the essence of who we are. The world in its materialistic mindset focuses on people as things. And if you treat yourself as a thing to be judged, a thing to be punished, if you see others as things to be avoided, things to be thrown away, things to be ignored, you're missing out on life. Because life is not about things. Life is about experiences. And experiences, well, that's what life is about. I'm actually feeling kind of whole and complete. I want to thank you guys for sharing this experience of today. But where do we take it from here? What are you guys feeling?
I would it's not my place to say, but I would like to get to like a topic that we can talk about rather than.
Yep, and I'm jumping down, Jack. I appreciate it.
Respect, Goblin. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you joining. You have ideas for a topic, Wildheart?
I'm interested in the title. I know you explained it before, but intentional growth, and what does that mean? Obviously, it sounds like a good thing. I don't think I would have any arguments with it, but like, what do you mean by that, and how do you achieve that kind of thing?
Beautiful. I appreciate that. I started at the beginning, the topic was inspired by the thumbnail, right? And so the idea of intentional growth came from this. Friday is the day to set your spirit free and let your dreams take flight. And then the more I thought about that, what prevents our spirit from being free, the other days of the week? What prevents our dreams from taking flight? Our limits. So to start the stream for today, what I encourage people to do is take notice, do an inventory on yourself, on your activities, on your beliefs, and notice the limits of your freedom. Where are you not free? Notice the limits of your dreams. Where are you not living your dream? And once you identify those limits, well, guess what you did? You just got clarity on a goal. And if you can live your life focused on goals, focusing on that next limit, overcoming that next limit, so that you can discover the experiences beyond those limits, that's what life is about. And so the idea of intentional growth is that. Do an inventory, identify your limits, identify your weakness, set a goal to grow those, and there you go.
Yeah, I can't agree with that. That's that sounds like a good philosophy and a good way to live life. Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Along those lines, I mean, it sounds simple, and it really is. It really is simple. And this is what I've realized. I bet money on this. I encourage you, challenge this. I'm not betting anyone, but I encourage you, challenge yourself. Experiment with your own life. See if your life can be more simple, right? Because what I've been learning, these goals, these ideas of self-development, improvement, it's all just intentional, focused, and it's a little bit at a time, right? One step at a time, one moment, one day at a time. That's how we grow, how we develop. And that's where my focus has been, is simplifying my own life. And what I've been learning sincerely, when we get out of our way, get out of our own way, allow the goodness to rise, because good ideas come up all the time. Good ideas and desires of doing good impulses, righteous. Each of us are moved with these ideas often, I believe. But what happens is, because of our patterns of our mind, the chaos and the hectic schedule, these ideas we've got in ourselves about how the world is, we don't make time. We don't stop to think about those things, the ideas and the impulses to serve.
I would agree with most of that, but I have like questions.
Please.
You say the most simple life is the best way to go, but if you take that to its extreme, like the more simple life would just be eating and sleeping. I can't imagine that would be a great life if that's all you're doing.
Correct.
I know what you're saying. There's like a balance, So maybe in today's world, yeah, we could simplify it a bit, but that doesn't mean that the more simple life is the best life, I would suggest.
No, and there's different, every one of us is a little different. And even in our own lives, there will be different times in our lives. There will be times when we're real driven and focused. We want to get accomplishments done. And then there will be times in our life where it's time to relax. It's time to just flow and maybe tend to the garden or tend to the poetry, whatever is just ideal for us. I agree. The concept, though, is we simplify our lives by resolving problems. This is what I learned for myself. My life becomes more simple when I get out of my way. I stop coming up with excuses why I can't do this, why I can't do that, and I just get things done. If I'm going through the day and something comes up into my mind, a problem or an idea to do, I'll ask myself, can it be done now? Does it need to be done? Is this beneficial or not? And then can I do it now? If I can do it now, it's done. I don't have to be anymore. That's what I'm talking about. Simplify your life by solving the problems. Find joy in your purpose. And if you can find joy in learning new things, growing into you, it is designed to be fun, I think. I think it's internally designed for us where we find joy from discovery and exploration.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that. Yeah, I think definitely the less problems you have, the better your life is going to be. Yeah.
We got another guest here. Welcome, Christos.
Hey, I just wanted to ask Tarek if he ever came clean to Mitch about saying he would pay for Jack's house.
Oh my God! See what I'm talking about? Did you bring up the tape so I can send them the $20 through PayPal? I don't go back on my word. Tell him, let's see the clip where I said that, and I'll pay him the $20.
You might have found one, actually.
Yeah,
I heard Mitch
yeah.
earlier.
And if he did, and I made a mistake, said that, I would pay him the $20.
I believe you.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, Mitch
No
is a
problem,
good guy.
Christos.
All right, for sure.
Yeah.
And then we've got another guest. Welcome.
I'm sure they're all Pauls. Yeah,
Sean?
Peniel. That's fine.
Yeah.
What happened to Christos?
Unbelievable.
He left.
Um,
He came and asked a question. He got his answer, and he felt satisfied and left, apparently.
See, well, I was listening on Paul's side, and I don't know how far behind he is, but he could be at 1, 2, 5. I don't know how many minutes behind he is. So I don't know how many minutes I missed there.
Not long. He wasn't here very long.
Oh, okay. He had just hopped on, so he's probably a minute behind then.
Yeah.
Got it.
You just swing by to support Christos?
No, I didn't even know he was. I didn't even know he was going up. I was already clicking the link, and then I checked back over, I switched tabs, and then I'm actually surprised that I'm not lagging right now. You can hear me because I still have his side open. I still have.
We can hear you.
Stream. That's crazy. This usually doesn't work, but I have his StreamYard side open too.
So, Peniel, what's your question? Go ahead, ask.
I didn't know I had a question.
Oh, I thought you came here for a reason because you guys
Maybe I
seem
just
like
want
to come.
Maybe I just want to cupcake it a little bit.
No
Shed
problem.
it on
No
a little.
problem.
Anniversary, shed it on a little bit, maybe.
No
Shed it. Sorry. I know there's no truth community, and it's proof because I'm always going to these panels that seem to be like adjacent to other channels that would tend to call themselves truth community. And there just seems to be this theme of people that seem to support slavery and genocide, so to speak, with their directions, whether directly or indirectly. I mean, it is directly, but whether their intentions were to directly or indirectly support the beast system, they did, because there just seems to be so many people who were down with 2020, 2021 on these panels, and again, it's one of my pet peeves, I guess, even if it was years ago, it was, 3 or 4 years ago. But I mean, I don't think 3 or 4 years is that long. And what I wonder is like, okay, if there's another plan, I'm turning into Timmy. Oh, here we go. All right. How am I Timmy, sir? In any way, shape, or form.
I am hearing the similarities, if it's the tone or the speech or something. It's interesting. I didn't notice it till he said it, but as soon as he said it, I heard it.
I mean, I'm a mixture of many, things.
Well, here's the thing, Sean. I'm wondering, do you look at yourself? Where do you fit in with that? What you're talking about? You're saying these just to the side of truth people, and where do you fit in? I mean, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm seeing a lot of mixed.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I was trying to, I was picking an avatar for it, and I said, "Oh, this is appropriate considering what I kind of wanted to bring up for my little picture here." Because yeah, I just think it's bound to happen again, right? And I wonder where people lie right now after, how many people really found out anything since in the last few years,
More so, what are they doing about what they found?
Right. Sure.
I mean, honestly, here's where, Sean, I tune in and I hear things, I guess I'm like everyone else. I hear things that I want to hear. And I've heard a lot of people on these panels and such talk about how they're here to build communities and, help enlighten, help educate other people so that we can create a better world. But then I see a lot of backbiting, a lot of distrust, a lot of selfishness. I don't know what the patterns are. I see a lot of confusion. I see an opportunity, though, here, sincerely. If we find a way to get past our disbelief and our doubts, if we find a way to start working together, we do have a common enemy today. And the enemy is not flesh and blood. We do not wrestle against flesh and blood. It is the principalities and the ideals. It is the rulers in high places. But those rulers operate through men and women, flesh and blood. We can deal with those. We can overcome them. We've got opportunities today, right now. I mean, a question I heard someone else ask, and I don't remember the context of it, but it stuck with me. What do we do with what we have learned? Okay, if you know there's corruption in these corporations and the governments, then what do we do with this? I mean, seems to stay silent is unhelpful. To just complain does little as well, but Sean, we've got the answers. We've got the opportunities. If we could unite, a call to action, it just simply requires people to believe that things can change. And if people believe things can change, I believe they'll try to change. What do you think?
I think that the word believe is probably one of my least favorite and used words for a good reason, because the word would lie right in the middle. And I think it's not a coincidence. I think you have to actually be the change and make the changes. You can't just talk about them. You have to actually make those changes for them to manifest.
Can just say, yeah, the fact that lie is in the middle of believe, I think that probably is a coincidence, given how words are created. And yeah, I don't think you should read too much into that.
It's
just a suggestion.
I hear you.
Too much.
Whether or not it was purposely orchestrated that way, I don't think it's a coincidence. That's all. I think that these things are there as you either see them, you see the signposts, or you see the signs or you kind of don't. But
no, but if it wasn't purposely put in there, then it is a coincidence. You can't say that even if it wasn't purposely put in there, then it's still not a coincidence. It's one or the other. Either it was intentional or it wasn't intentional.
okay, well that's the thing, right? Coincidence gets a negative rap sometimes. So for something to coincide doesn't necessarily mean that there's not a conspired nature behind it either. So, but anyway, aside from etymology and word origins and meanings,
yeah, sorry.
Would you say, well, I think I know where Jack stood in 2020, which a few years ago. And I think I remember where you stand because I think you came on OTWs once and you kind of explained where you stood. So I was just curious to see if maybe you've come to regret any of your decisions, if you see things any differently now.
So is that for Jack?
No, I was asking you. Do you come also on another name? Did you go on OTWs once, maybe a month or two ago? Am I confusing with somebody?
You might be. I've always been called Wilder, but I do go on a lot of streams. I don't remember that particular one, but I don't know whether you're confusing me with someone. Yeah.
Yeah, OTW News. I'm pretty sure it was you. It was probably about a month ago. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
I mean, would you say that? Long story short, would you say 2021 and 2020, all that happened there was a campaign against the people? Essentially, do you see that existed?
This could be a problem because I'm from the UK. You're gonna have to explain to me what happened in 2020 and 2021.
Well, there was an outbreak, so to speak, and it affected the whole world.
I get you.
Or so they called it, an outbreak, whatever. And certain people got something, and certain people didn't. A large amount of people got it, and large amount of people didn't. So,
yeah, I think the general story, is fine. Yeah, so I don't like to talk about it without. Yeah.
And aside from the treatments, I mean, all the other things that went along with it, people being forced to shut down their businesses. Amazon.
Hey, Sean, what is the point?
Well, I'm trying to get to the root of the issue of wars, legal secrets, right?
Okay. Are you?
I think it comes down to the support of the people more than it comes.
Right. And Sean, I was discussing those things, and then because you heard me say the word believe, we got off on this. I don't believe because the word lie is in believe. And then here, this supports that idea too. You're probably right. The word me is in the word meat, and that must be because we are meat. And then we got distracted off onto other things, and I'm not sure where the question is going about the past few years.
Hey, greetings, Jack.
So basically, you're a conspiracy theorist, and you don't believe in what happened in 2021, and I'm presuming you don't believe a lot of things.
Yeah, I didn't say I believed or didn't believe anything. But I'm bringing up the part about how I know the reality of what happened and what the people were forced to do by and large.
Yeah, I want to talk to Jack real quick. So Jack says we just need to change our minds as a collective and go after the rulers in high places. But from my perspective, I don't think we can go after rulers in high places unless we have a strategy and tested it against rulers in low places, so we know what we want to do actually works.
Okay. So what would that look like? You came up with a problem. What would the solution look like?
Well, for example, there are edicts that are telling people what panels they're allowed to go to, and my solution is just telling them no. My solution is say, hey, no, we don't need to listen to you, or if you do have an argument, go ahead and write it out for us. Give us a list of approved panels, then maybe we'll discuss it. And since they don't follow through, then we just go wherever we want, and we'll do the same thing. I know a woman from, I guess, Gen X's Justice panel. No, that was no before that. That was OTW's panel is find state power at a town level because of corrupt politicians, and she's just airing out that a lot of the politicians or real estate developers too, and they're selling property. They're buying property from themselves using their office. So, and all she need to do is just point it out to cause the disruption. So, like those strategies.
All right. I'm not sure what you were. Thank you, Hank. Welcome, Butterball.
You're not sure of what to do. Okay, what do you think it will work? How do you think it will work then?
Well, I'm not sure what you were talking about, Hank. I kind of lost track of where you were.
Okay, so your goal is to go after corruption in high places.
Yeah.
I'm saying we can't do that yet because we don't know how to clear the corruption in low places that we can actually get to.
What makes you believe that we don't? Do you have any specifics that we don't know how to get to in low places? I mean, I think that you're just imagining a narrative, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Sure. Hey, sorry, there's someone else here that's been getting my Butterball. Welcome. I haven't seen you before.
I've been here when Paul has been here.
Ah, okay. I saw you asking in the private about Paul.
Yeah, where is Paul?
He's on his stream.
Oh, is this not his stream?
No, here, I'll get you.
Oh, excuse me, I didn't.
There you go. In the private chat, there's his channel.
Thank you, sir.
And yeah, I'm sure the link is available over there.
But I hope you guys have a nice weekend. Excuse me for.
Hey.
You know who you need? You need to go check out Hormaxer. You look like a dysgenic, dork-maxing rotter. Is that what you are? Would you call?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
It's something I think you need help with. Are you familiar with Hormaxer?
No, I don't think I need help with anything.
Well, just from the looks of it, I think you're in desperate need of help, my friend.
Yeah, I look pretty bad, but I'm pretty smart.
That's not going to do shit for you in the long run. Go to the gym, get on some gear. I think that's what the general would tell you. You need help.
Yeah, I don't think that's the way. I think women are pretty stupid.
You can leave now, though. You can go over to Paul's channel, you lackey.
And just going by your Christ Walker provoking, I think that's definitely what Christ would have said to that person. Definitely.
That's definitely what Christ would have said.
That's right, brother.
Oh, that was good. Welcome, Provo. Good to see you, my friend. I was wondering, though, maybe he was in the right place, even though he thinks he's looking for Paul. Maybe he's. Well,
he's got some problems just by looking at him. It's fairly obvious. I wish him the best in life.
I'm sorry, Provo. How can you tell what problems he does or doesn't have just by looking at it? I'm confused by that.
I didn't understand a fucking word you said. You got to speak American over here, buddy.
Right. I was just asking. You're saying just by looking at him, you can tell what his problems are.
Yeah, too many calories in a day. That's one problem.
Oh,
yes, I agree.
Yes, he was overweight.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, too many in, not enough out.
Low-hanging fruit like that, Actually, I have a theory on the obesity pandemic that we have. It's not simply miseducation and poor diet choices. It's a symptom of people who's killed their spirits. I know when I felt dead inside, I used to eat all sorts of garbage. And, I think the two go together. When we lack a purpose, when we lack fulfillment and love, we feel empty. And that's where the choices to eat come in.
It could also be like a congenital disease or thyroid problems,
Yeah,
something
like
they can
Williams
do
syndrome.
absolutely nothing about. That
Yeah,
could be a
he
possibility.
might be disabled. Then he's really got something ahead of him as a challenge. But Jack, intentional growth. I like the topic of the channel, your stream. That rather, I mean, what are some ways you've approached intentional growth in the past week or so?
Oh, the past week. I backslid a couple of times. My fasting and purification, I haven't gone through as well as I want, but my intentional growth, what I am focusing on more, and what I'm talking about is I'm still being a candy ass with my nicotine. I haven't walked away from the nicotine yet. But where I am focused on is I realized if I go through this short period of withdrawal from nicotine, I'm more likely to be agitated and be rough. Well, I get less criticism for chewing than I do for being a dick. So I'd rather avoid being a dick for a little longer.
Man, maybe you just need to change your form of nicotine. Maybe get some nicotine pouches, gum.
Yeah.
Mix it up. I think the tobacco may be the worst part, and maybe just find a better way to use nicotine. Maybe just have a relationship with it for the rest of your life, Jack. Why not?
I appreciate the open-mindedness. I do have plans. I will overcome all of these habits, or I'm going to die, one of the two. But
well, we're all going to die, Jack. I mean,
yeah,
right.
I would say that in there.
You're definitely going to die. Yeah, that's definitely going to happen at some point. We all.
I'm talking nearish term. Nearish term.
Well, those who think about death welcome it. So I don't even think about the fucker.
Yeah, I don't really think about too much. I mean, after I'm dead, it's someone else's problem, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would say so, Hank. Man, so you've been trying to intentionally grow, remove your bad habits, and be a better person, overcome some of these struggles you're going through. I really like that, Jack. That's great to hear.
Thank you. It is my goal, and I hope others will pick up on some of these. Maybe others can do a better job than I do about working on themselves, becoming better for themselves. For sure, everyone can do better than me.
Yeah, they just got to be. What's that old cliche quote? Just try to be better than you were the day before, or something like that.
That's the key, and that's where we were at earlier with what I was trying to get with, I think, Wildheart. Simplifying our lives. Set simple goals like that intentional growth. I simply want to be better than I was before. I want to never be as bad as I used to be. I want to be better than I've ever been. And then you just keep that simply within you. And every day, what can I do better? What can I do a little different? What can I improve upon?
Beautiful.
And then have fun.
Wow.
That's what life's about, right? We're here to have fun.
Praise God. Hell yeah. How do you have fun, Wildheart? What are your pastimes? Looks like you measure shit in the back. What do you like measuring stuff?
Oh yeah, I used to be a plasterer. That's a big spirit level. Yeah, but basically I just spend all day on YouTube on live streams. I had my own live stream before that was 5 hours. I was on a live stream before that for 2 hours. So it's
you're a dysgenic rotter as well. Do you know Hormaxer? You could probably benefit from it.
I'm sorry. What did you say? Disingenuous rodder.
Dysgenic rotter. Like you're rotting. You're just dysgenic. You got bad genes. You're perpetuating those bad genes. You're not changing your life. You're not doing anything. You're just on YouTube all day.
How did you get that from saying I've been on 2 streams?
I asked you what you do for fun, and you say you're on YouTube all day.
That's an excuse from that. And if you can work that out, you're cleverer than I am.
Well, you're hard as fuck to understand, so it's hard to have a conversation. But I appreciate you trying. Are you Native American? Are you Wildheart? Is that your given name?
No, I'm from England. We're the people who invented the language that you use. So if anyone's getting it wrong, it's you.
Oh, you invented the language. Okay, and I appropriated it.
Yeah, we gave you a language, kindly
Ah.
use it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, thanks for that. I really appreciate you inventing language. That's really, really great of you.
Yeah.
That's cool how you like
Use
use
it well.
Yeah, that's cool how you do that, man.
This is funny.
Not personal, but yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. What else have you guys invented?
Yeah, everything. A lot of
Oh wow, that sounds kind of racist. Am I right, Hank?
we invented. How is it racist? Listing the thing what a country, people from a country have invented. How in the world is that in any way racist? That makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, typically people would say the majority of people from England are white, Caucasian, and you're saying you guys invented everything. That's just a lie.
No, you asked me what else have we invented. So if I give you a list of what people from Britain have invented, how is that racist? That's just a fact.
Just trying to be progressive over here, dude. Keep it easy.
Yeah, you should try harder at that.
Okay, well, you didn't invent the TV. That was invented by a Mormon in Utah. So
No, actually, the TV was Alexander Graham Bell from Scotland. Actually,
no, that's not true.
Yeah, it is.
Well, Wikipedia, dude. Look it up, dude. It's a Mormon from Utah, man. You think a Scottish guy invented the TV?
Oh no, that was telephone. No, you're quite right. I take it back. That was
Fucking
telephone.
right.
Yeah, Alexander Graham Bell. Yeah.
Anyways,
So he's saying that the television was invented by a Mormon from Utah. Is that racist?
No, that's not.
No.
But I'm not saying everything that's been invented is by Mormons and people from Utah.
Yeah.
I'm not making that argument. I'm just saying one thing was invented. But anyways, Jack, what else do you want to talk about? I like this Wild Heart guy. He seems like a great person.
He is. He's been pretty good. And I love what you're bringing too, Provo. You're bringing some energy and some good questions. Wild Heart, your audio does suck though. Someone in the chat was mentioning it.
Yeah, I've been trying to fix that all day. I keep turning the volume level up on StreamYard, and that's all I can do. So I'll fiddle about with it. But carry on. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, fix that shit, dude.
Well, I think a microphone or something might be helpful for you. I love what you're saying, and with the accent though, and the audio, I was having a little challenge. I was having challenges understanding you. I'm assuming Provo was picking it up, well, because he's so good and he pays attention. But the headphones might have helped too.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, Hank?
My thoughts on
anything
racist.
You could just share your thoughts.
Yeah.
What specifically?
Anything you want, dude. Just let your heart guide your conversation. Speak from your heart.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's where my heart's lost right there. So what I find kind of odd is how, I guess, psychotherapists, that they're allowed to. So they claim that they'll talk to you privately, but they'll also snitch on you if you see a crime thing. I just find that odd. Why would I pay someone to talk to the police for me? That just sounds.
Do you only want to talk about crimes you've committed to your therapist? Is that like the only thing you want to talk to them
about?
about?
By paying them to shut up, why would they talk anyways?
Well, maybe if you commit a crime that's against the law and they're required to report it.
Yeah, then why should I pay them?
Well, you could pay them, but
on me anyways.
Just don't tell them what crimes you commit, I would suppose.
I wouldn't pay them to tell them anything.
Are you asking for a friend?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Well, tell your friend the next time they go to the therapist, just don't talk about the crimes they've committed, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, why wouldn't telling them just skip out, don't bother with the therapist?
Yeah, they might need the therapist, though.
The therapist?
Go ahead, Jack.
Well, if they're committing crimes, there might be some cause for therapy there. right?
Well, what if it's just thought crime? Like they just have a belief that's not proved.
I don't think that's illegal, right? To like,
I don't believe. Yeah, I don't think that is a crime,
what's
is
a
it?
thought crime, Hank?
Oh, like if the leftists got more control and say, "Oh, we can't be racist anymore," that could be a potential thought crime.
Oh wow.
And is that, Hank? You are so fascinating. I enjoy you so much, and thank you, Provo. So okay, but the question was related to disclosing it to the therapist. Is that what I understood?
Yeah, I mean, why would we pay a therapist to be
Oh,
private if they also have a big exception? They can just tell gossip and just tell the stain the fellow therapists. I mean, they even have protocols so they can just talk about whatever as long as they just keep it de-identified. So they're gonna leak information even if they don't de-reference it back to you. And it's why should I pay for that?
it's more for what they offer you, isn't it? Rather than what they do behind. Because if they're disclosing without any identifying features, right? If they're just generically discussing, is there a harm in that amongst peers? Or am I misunderstanding
Yes, absolutely.
what you're talking about?
So I don't have any. Once it's out, but
Yeah.
I don't know what they're saying. So my preference is just to say it myself, so I know what's out there. So there's no miscommunication via telephone.
All right. But people are going to talk, and we don't control what they say.
Yes, but I control what I say.
Yep. I don't actually understand the concerns. I mean, again, in this hypothetical situation of a friend who might disclose some crimes to a therapist, therapy can be very beneficial. Now, in today's society, though, I honestly think this is a little absurd. Well, no, it's not, because I don't want to minimize or diminish. People in those professions ideally have an experience or an education and ways to communicate and ways to help people understand the complexities that life can bring. So actually paying for someone to listen to you, I agree, Hank. It's a bizarre concept. Really makes no sense whatsoever. And the risk is you talk to someone, it's a person, they're going to have the ability to go talk. But the other side of that, man, if someone can help you, if you're dealing with a problem, a struggle, and it's just wearing you down, you're just ready to give up. If you can find someone there who understands, you can change your life. I don't think that's what you were talking about, though.
No, I could, but they don't specialize in changing lives. They specialize in listening and talking about defending people. So
talking about defending people?
They specialize in listening and talking without offending people.
Oh, talking without offending.
Yes, that's what they specialize in. They're not optimized to change lives. They're just there to listen and try to not offend people, so they can have repeat business. That's what they are there for. If you just happen to change your life, you run the lottery.
I do and don't agree with you. I mean, yes, there are people who go through the motion and they'll set you up for recurring schedules. You got to see the therapist like 6 times a week just so you don't go crazy. But then there's other people. The idea of listening and being able to communicate without causing offense, I could see the benefit to that. It allows the truth to do the power, to be the power. And that's really what, in my experience, that is what matters. It's the truth that it transforms us, it shifts us. When we gain different perspectives, different understandings of what is true, that's when we grow. That's what I hope to help others do, as I do it myself. Thoughts, fellow panel?
Well, I'm excited to hear Wildheart with his new setup.
I was curious too.
Yeah, I hope that's better. I don't know if it is or not. Yeah, is that good?
The audio.
Yeah, I was going to disagree slightly. You know, you're saying it depends what is true and how well you understand truth. I would say you will get the same results if what you believed wasn't true. You can have good results from believing something, whether it's true or not, because it will still change your actions. Do you know what I mean? So, if that makes
Fair
sense.
enough. That is correct. Yeah. I don't know. Hey, we're getting an echo now with Wildheart.
Oh, I'm sorry.
However, aside from that, I am feeling like maybe it's time to wrap up.
I was thinking the same thing, Jack.
Much love.
I'll let these other. You know what? I'm excited to hear from Pineal Power. He's one of the great panelists of all time. I mean, he just comes on, drops brilliance, has great conversations with people. He's an amazing guy. Has a great channel where he has a lot of content himself. You'll definitely notice that if you go to his channel. You'll notice a lot of his content there. But, you know, excited to hear his final words. Wildheart just lit up a cig. That's going to be lit. Can't wait. He's going to now have some nicotine in him and be able to drop some wisdom. But, Hank, I'm going to step off the court. I'd like you to be next. God bless you all. Have a wonderful weekend.
Blessings, Provo. Much love and respect.
Well, I hope you find a way to unite all the people and do all the things, Jack.
Thank you sincerely, Hank. I appreciate that. I appreciate your participation and your joining today too. Thank you, brother.
Yep. See you.
And
later.
I would just like to say, yeah, thanks for letting me on, and hopefully we'll speak again sometime soon. Thanks
Respect to you. Thank you,
Yeah.
my friend. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Peniel, are you there?
Yeah, sorry. I was listening to kind of a little bit of this panel and switching back and forth conversations there. Two panels at once, double paneling.
Multitask.
It's perfect for ADD. Yeah, it's perfect for quote unquote ADD. So I missed the last minute or two here, but yeah, I was just trying to bring up, I guess, what I see as obvious. God, I can't think of a better word than optics. That's bad. Bad. That's what I get for being on panels too much. But been working on trying to get that out of my vocabulary. But yeah, the obvious opting into or not opting into extremely disempowering choices for the whole, not just for the individual, but for the whole, and the potential that something like what we all saw on a worldwide level a few years ago could happen again very soon. And it's frustrating to think that there are people who are still possibly going to play into the next scam, you know, that essentially furthers our enslavement, or theirs rather, if they're the ones playing into it. Because I mean, again, it doesn't affect me for the most part anyway, that people transhumanize themselves, literally, but it does kind of, because it does.
We're all in this together, right?
Yeah. Chaos agent.
All right.
Agreeable. Okay. I'm a
Thank
chaos.
you,
Do you think
Sean.
I'm a chaos agent, Jeff?
Yeah.
You do?
It's not intentional, but it's I believe it's just youth and
Youth? Okay.
Yeah. as you mature and your awareness will change, you're going to grow out of some of the things like the people pleasing and some of the other stuff. And maybe I don't know you well enough. I may be misreading some of it, but I do see some agent of confusion, agent of chaos. But I see your heart. You got a great heart. You're a good young man, a very bright light to you.
All right, Jack. Well, I'll get out of your hair. I appreciate you. Probably gonna hop over back to Paul's. I don't know what you're up to, but if you're getting off, then have a good rest of your evening, sir. And be well. See you, chat.
Thank you. Oops. There you go. Thank you, brother. Yes, brothers, sisters, all who joined the panel, all who joined the chat, all who tuned in at a later date and time, sincerely thank you. My gratitude and my appreciation goes to you. You are part of my experience. You are part of the data, part of the results of me, my efforts. And I want to sincerely thank you. Thank you for being a part of this experience. The life I'm living, certainly not where I thought it would be. But today, brothers and sisters, I am feeling filled with inspiration. I am feeling free. And today, I'm following these words. I'm setting my spirit free. I'm letting my dreams take flight. I intend to spend the rest of my evening in a way of celebrating this day, this life, the achievements of memories, the achievements of the goals, the desires. Today, had some great conversations offline, online. You know who you are. I appreciate all of you, and sincerely. In the future, I've got a lot of hopes for us all. I really do. And I want to share some anticipation, some excitement, hopefully with you as well, about what the future might bring for us all. Through here, I hope to continue to offer some encouragement, inspiration, some observations and perspectives to help simplify your life, make your life a little greater, because together, as our lives improve, the world becomes a better place. More joy, more love, more fulfillment, and more growth. Anyway, thank you again, sincerely, brothers and sisters, to all. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless and thank you.